Some pretty insane breaking news just hit the wire. You all know Elon Musk, well, of course you do, unless you live under a rock, but he's the artist who brought us hits like PayPal and Tesla and Boring Company and Neuralink and SpaceX and also the world's richest man. Anyway, he's making some big money moves. It was just announced that he's putting together a group to try to purchase OpenAI. Obviously, if you've heard of that, you probably know that Sam Altman is the guy who made it and is running it, and he already responded, and it looks like we're gonna get some billionaire drama. Of course, I'll be giving you all those juicy details in this video, but I also want to quickly recap what happened in the market today and what to pay attention to for the remainder of the week. So if you enjoy these type of market breakdowns, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and with that being said, go Birds. By the time the world's largest casino went dingity ding 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 today, Monday, February 10th, here is the official headline. S&P 500 closes higher, Nasdaq pops nearly 1% Monday as investors shrug off tariff worries. Now, if you read that headline or if you look at the heat map on the screen right now, that seems overall pretty bullish, but in reality, it was a boring day. We violently went nowhere, nothing really happened, and we're just waiting for any updates for inflation, monetary policy, or even the potential trade war that we've now found ourselves in. Also on the screen, you can see Microsoft, which remember has a large equity ownership of OpenAI, and you can see Tesla. Obviously, we're going to be touching on both of those. With respect to the overall market, the big news right now is tariffs. We got some news on Friday that caused the market to puke. Things got ramped up over the weekend, and we didn't really get any news today, but the market obviously did put in a green day. The SPY up 0.7%, the Nasdaq up 1.2%, Bitcoin up 0.9%. So there's a little bit of momentary bullish, but I have to put out in the short term, I'm hesitant if it's going to hold, and here's why. Trump's next round of tariffs, 25% on steel and aluminum, won't be so easily averted. Reciprocal tariffs on trading partners are also in the mix, as officials say punitive tariffs on Mexico and Canada were only a small slice of the trade agenda. Now, when we're talking about these types of things, you have to understand that there's going to be clear winners and there's going to be clear losers, especially when there are reciprocal tariffs. China to impose up to 15% tariffs on US energy and vehicles on Monday, so they're not going to sit back and just let Trump do what he wants to do, at least on the get-go. I have a sneaky suspicion that everyone's tune is going to be changing somewhat soon, within the month or two, but for right now, obviously everyone has to save a little bit of face. So let's talk about who's going to win and who's going to lose. Trump to impose 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum. Here are the likely winners and losers. Those expected to be hit by the hardest by the duties include Canada, Mexico, Germany, and Asian exporters, just because we take a lot of their goods. The two metals are vital components in various industries, including transportation, construction, and packaging. So if we want to know the countries who are going to get hit, steel production declined in the US and China. So basically, the US and China were both big importers of steel and aluminum, and you can see the EU, India, Brazil, and Turkey are big exporters. So right here, Canada giving up a lot, Mexico, Brazil as it relates to steel, aluminum, Canada, UAE, South Korea. So those are the ones who are going to get hurt in terms of countries, but I also want to talk about the industry. So you can find many examples. The equity I'm about to go over is not the only equity, but one industry that's obviously going to be hurt is automakers. And if you're watching this, there's a good chance your favorite automaker is Tesla. Right now, Tesla had a brutal day. In the sea of green, this one was slaughtered down 3%, and that was even with a pretty decent midday recovery. But if you look at the daily chart, you can see lower highs, lower lows. It snapped the 50 EMA. This is not trending well. I want to be very clear when I'm saying this. I like Tesla in the long term as an investment, but in the short term, right now, things are pretty bearish. I need to really emphasize this. Trading and investing are two completely different things. Right now, I'm still more than happy to be a Tesla investor. That's in my investment account. I'll come back in 10, 20, 30 years. And as a trader, I look at the trend and the fact that it's snapped the price action. We have this tariff news. There's a downside gap fill to 345.45, and then beyond that, 324.68. Clearly, I'm gonna be playing it to those levels, especially when I see that the options market is not holding. Early this morning, we saw options pop, and I thought, okay, maybe the bulls are stepping back in. But if anything, that seemed like it was just going for the upside gap fill, because late in the day, around 2:30, really getting into power hour, you could see that the options delta just started to puke. And I think in the short term, there might be a bit pain. But what's going to make this whole narrative a little bit more confusing is Elon, as I alluded to at the start of this video, is making some big money moves. Elon Musk's group submits a $97.4 billion, almost $100 billion to take control of OpenAI. And this was first reported by the Wall Street Journal. And within seconds, we got a public response from Sam Altman, who is running OpenAI. No, thank you, but we will buy Twitter for $9.74 billion if you want. So a very quick clapback, and I have a feeling, especially seeing how these two have operated in the past, I think this is going to get to some serious drama. So make sure to kick back and get some popcorn because it's going to get exciting. Elon Musk-led group makes a $97.4 billion bid for control of OpenAI. This was an unsolicited offer, and it complicates Sam Altman's plan to convert OpenAI to a for-profit company. That might sound confusing, but it's actually one of Elon's biggest issues with this whole deal. Is it started off as a non-profit company, and now he wants to be a for-profit company. But here are more of the nitty-gritty details you might be interested in. A consortium of investors led by Elon Musk is offering $97.4 billion to buy the nonprofit that controls OpenAI, upping the stakes in his battle with Sam Altman over the company behind ChatGPT. This battle is no secret. If you've been paying attention, they've been going at it for months, if not years now. The unsolicited offer adds a major complication to Altman's carefully laid plans for OpenAI's future, including converting it to a for-profit company and spending up to $500 billion on AI infrastructure through a joint venture called Stargate. He and Musk are already fighting in court over the direction of OpenAI. It's time for OpenAI to return to the open source, safety-focused force for good it once was. We will make sure that happens. I have to admit, knee-jerk reaction where we have one guy saying,
hey, I think we should be really safe about the next revolution in the world of technology. I'm talking about AI.
And then this other character, Sam Altman, who he started off as like a choir boy, we're doing this for the public good and everything. And now he's like,
nah, I'd rather just the profit.
It's a little bit suspect. Altman and Musk co-founded OpenAI in 2015 as a charity. In 2019, after Musk left the company and Altman became the chief executive, OpenAI created a for-profit subsidiary that he served as a vehicle for it to raise money from Microsoft and other investors. Altman is in the process of turning that subsidiary into a traditional company and spinning out the nonprofit, which would own equity in the new for-profit. It's very confusing. You might need a diagram to figure out what's going on here. It sounds like just greed is what's driving it. Money, 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 no longer a charity. At this point, I want to pause everything and I want to ask you, who do you think would be better to steward this company? Are you Team Musk or are you Team Altman? I don't know where I am because literally as I was prepping this video, this news came across and I knew I had to cover it and share it with all of you. But this is wild. This is a very, very powerful tool and something's going on in the background. I don't think all the information is to light yet, but I don't know. My spidey senses are tingling. Speaking of tingling spidey senses, the rest of the trading week is gonna be a tough one. So I hope you're watching this in time because tomorrow, Tuesday, February 11th, Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, Daddy Powell, will be testifying in front of the Senate. Powell heads for hyper-charged hearings overshadowed by Trump. This isn't just a one-day affair, it's a two-day affair because on Wednesday, he will be speaking to the House. Oh, and I should also let you know that we happen to be getting a CPI report, very important inflation report. We happen to be getting a PPI report, another important inflation report, and then on Friday, we get retail sales. So for the remainder of the week, we have a lot of macroeconomic things to pay attention to, so please respect your risk. Overall, very indecisive day. If you were caught up day trading like me, I got my ass handed to me because we violently went nowhere. I got caught up in the whipsaw, but when you take a step back and you look at the larger picture, you realize we did nothing. We, by definition, have an inside day. The high and the low were within the high and the low of the range created on Friday. That's a non-trending day. The market wasn't telling us anything of what was going on. The same thing with the NASDAQ tracked by QQQ right here, lower high, higher low, very, very indecisive. So we're going to have to wait for that. I have a feeling that a new range is going to be made very shortly. I mean, we have all those macroeconomic reports. We have Trump and his tariffs and the trade war. So paying attention to all that, but I do need you to watch Tesla because in the short term, the bears are in control. I still very much like it as a long-term investment. And I'm also now going to be watching watching Microsoft, because don't forget that is a large equity investor in OpenAI. So some crazy stuff is going down. I hope you enjoyed the video. I do appreciate your time. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, all that stuff, especially even when you comment. It does help me out with the engagement. So if you've made it to this point in the video, I truly, truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'll catch you in the live stream tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Hope to see you there. And if not, I'll see you in the next update video. That's what I have for you now.